Hello there. Welcome to another chapter of Jamaica Magazine. We promise you that the next half hour will be as engaging and informative as always. I'm Adrian Atkinson. The show begins right now.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, July 30. Government is aiming to increase the manufacturing sector's output by 3% annually, taking its contribution to GDP from $66 billion in 2018 to $81 billion over the next 5 years. This disclosure was made by Minister without Portfolio in the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, Leslie Campbell, during this Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives. He made the announcement while tabling the National Investment Policy Green Paper and the National 5-Year Manufacturing Growth Strategy 2020 to 2025 for Jamaica.
Among the expected outcomes of the strategy are areas increased jobs, increased foreign and local investment, comprising new and expanded businesses, increased attractiveness of Jamaica as a business destination, increased contribution to GDP, strengthened domestic supply chains with a view to import substitution, and increased export sales of manufactured goods, foreign exchange earnings.
The strategy was developed by the ministry along with the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association and Jamaica Promotions Corporation. Globally, manufacturing accounts for approximately 16% of GDP, while in Jamaica the sector has accounted for approximately 8.5% of GDP over the past 5 years. It contributes 6.5% of employment. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is warning that persons found to be in breach of government's COVID-19 protocols, particularly those placed on home quarantine, are to be charged shortly. In a statement to Parliament on Tuesday, the Prime Minister said 50 cases of breaches were under investigation and nearing completion. He said the first set of charges should be laid within the next couple of days.
I'm concerned that a number of persons are not strictly observing the home quarantine orders, and I have asked the JCF to exercise greater vigilance and charge persons who are found to be in breach.
The government has issued 20,126 home quarantine orders to date. Government has provided all public education institutions with additional sums of between $500,000 and $1 million towards intensified preparations for the upcoming academic year in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. This was disclosed by Minister of Education, Youth and Information, Carl Samuda, as he made his contribution to the 2020-2021 sectoral debate in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. He says secondary institutions have also been provided with $600,000 each to buy furniture, while the ministry has commenced the procurement of tables and chairs for primary schools.
This provision is in addition to the regular grants provided to schools in April and June, which amount to over $2.8 billion.
Minister Samuda is encouraging schools to contact their regional offices if there are further needs to be addressed. Meanwhile, more than 50 churches have committed to assist the government in providing additional space for students in the new school year to limit the spread of COVID-19.
We have been in dialogue with a number of churches to use their halls and other available spaces, and we want to thank our church leaders for responding to this national need, and they have responded admirably. Across the 7 regions, more than 52 churches so far have made their halls available at request. We are negotiating with others.
The Education Minister says the ministry has also entered into partnership agreements with 39 private institutions to accommodate some students. During his sectoral presentation in Parliament, he revealed that nearly 30% of schools currently function under capacity and can therefore operate with the existing spaces they have, while others have opted to use tents. Schools are developing their individual plans for reopening in September. Administrators have been guided to rearrange the seating in all classrooms in keeping with the social or physical distancing guidelines. They've also been instructed to modify the timetable to ensure that teachers are appropriately deployed to attend to their students. And finally, over the next 5 years, government will be providing 150 scholarships for civil servants to pursue postgraduate studies in programs aligned with Jamaica's national strategic objectives. The Marcus Garvey Public Sector Graduate Scholarship Program will offer 30 scholarships each year at a combined cost of more than $1 billion. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, launched the initiative at his ministry on Wednesday.
Our vision builds upon the vision of others who came before. And it's a vision of a Jamaica that achieves its potential, a Jamaica that is developed, a Jamaica in which all Jamaicans, regardless of station of birth, have an opportunity for a productive life and to be able to make the best of their talents and their motivations. We cannot achieve that without a competent and efficient public service.
The scholarships will be tenable at local and overseas universities at the start of the 2021-2022 academic year. Recipients will be required to commit adequate time in the government service to employ their new skills and qualifications. The Scholarship Selection Committee will be chaired by the Governor-General, Sir Patrick Allen, while the Technical Secretariat will be based in the Strategic Human Resource Management Division of the Ministry of Finance. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Jamaicans at home and abroad, celebrate the spirit of independence. Participate in the Spirit of Independence competition by decorating your surroundings with vibrant and creative displays of the Jamaican national colors. Numerous prizes will be awarded under various categories this year. These include Best Decorated Town Center, Best Decorated Business Place, Best Decorated Government Office, Best Decorated Private Residence, Best Diaspora Community Celebration, and Best Media Celebration. Persons interested in entering the competition should submit 6 photographs, 3 showing the outside and 3 of the inside of the building or display area. The photographs are to be submitted via email by August 3 to jamaicafestival@jcdc.gov.jm. Resilient and strong, let's celebrate Jamaica 58. Human trafficking does not discriminate. No matter your gender, age, or place of birth, human trafficking can happen to you. It is World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, and before school went on a break, the students of Port Antonio High started an initiative to help you put a face to human trafficking and identify potential victims or even a perpetrator. Those students are home for the summer holiday, but their message is valuable in every season. Take a look.
A silent march is just one of the many strategies being implemented by this institution to fight human trafficking. Hello there and welcome to School Zone. We're at the Port Antonio High School, the first high school in Jamaica to establish the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Club.
School zone, school zone, school zone, school zone, school zone, school zone.
A group of students had gone to a workshop in 2018, and they were so concerned when they heard the information that they came back to school and spoke to their teachers and said that they wanted to start a club here because it really touched them. They realized how easy it was for persons to be caught up. I mean, you think of slavery as something in the past, you don't realize that it's very much present and very much also, unfortunately, here in Jamaica. So they wanted to get the information out because they wanted to keep their fellow classmates and their families safe. And our students decided to have a silent march because they wanted to highlight human trafficking, and basically they want persons to understand that too often it's silent, and they want persons to break the silence. We started from the NCB Bank and we walked all the way down to school.
Read a book, magazine, newspaper. Read a book right now or later. Read a book for the higher Read a book right now or later. Read a book for the higher education. Read a book, oh what a sensation. Read a book.
Hi, I'm Wendy and Ivy, the 2019 second place winner of the Rita Marley Foundation Public Speaking Competition, and you're watching School Zone.
Human trafficking is modern slavery. It has many forms and faces. Men, women, and children of all ages, race, and class can become prey. They are exploited through the use of force, fraud, or coercion. They are controlled by another person, treated as property, and stripped of their rights. Human trafficking is modern slavery. Let's put an end to it.
After observing the students on their silent march, we headed back to the school campus where we're at one of their club meetings to learn more about the club, their initiatives, and human trafficking.
We have 10 objectives, and one of them is to create a strong fraternity so we can spread the social issue of human trafficking on a global level. And the second one is to be a role model for other schools and societies so we can get the awareness of human trafficking to spread even faster.
We make sure that the students are aware that human trafficking is real and it exists within our country. We have also had sessions with the parents of our students here. We have the police came in before, had a discussion with us about how we can benefit from educating our fellow students about human trafficking. Also, one of our activities coming up is that we want to educate the younger persons from primary school that certain things that they do on the road, can affect certain things that happen to them in the future.
Victims of human trafficking can be found in hotels, salons, massage parlors, nightclubs, and even in the homes.
Victims of human trafficking display signs that include trauma, limited freedom, they are often unpaid, seems to be in debt, they are afraid to speak, afraid of the police, and have limited access to medical care.
Well, the Port Antonio High School Anti-Human Trafficking Club meet every first and last Tuesday at the month in the school auditorium, and anyone can become a member. Just attend one of the meetings, ask for the guidance counselor, get a membership form, sign up, and attend as much meeting as possible.
The first case we had was of 7 Indian nationals who were trafficked, and where they were found, they were living where the dogs were living. They were not fed, just given scraps. So those are just some real male stuff.
If you know of someone who is being trafficked, call the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Arm of the Jamaica Constabulary Force at 876-967-5627 or 876-967-1389.
So thank you so much, guys, for having me here today, teaching me about the club and what you're doing to fight human trafficking. At this moment, we're about to close the program. But before we go, we have a few important facts about human trafficking for you.
Did you know that 71% of women and girls between the age of 13 and 18 are the main victims of human trafficking?
Did you know human trafficking has 6 main forms? But the most common of these are sex trafficking and forced labor. Did you know that persons who are victims of human trafficking are oftentimes lured by people who they know and trust, such as family members and friends?
Did you know that human trafficking is one of the most unreported crimes in the world? Many victims are afraid to come forward because of fear and because they develop Stockholm Syndrome.
Did you know that a study conducted in 2018 has proven that more females are charged with human trafficking than males? Females are less likely to be suspected because they use their gender as a disguise to lure their victims.
I hope you were jotting down notes. And this is where we close the program. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of School Zone. If you want your school featured, simply email me at sjohnson@gis.gov.jm. Take care.
School zone, school zone, school zone, school zone, school zone, school zone.
Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, celebrating over 20 years of investment in community development. JSIF has forged relationships with international funding partners as well as private and public sector entities. Let us continue to invest to reduce vulnerabilities. Let us build our social capital and resilient infrastructures to ensure full participation in Vision 2030. JSIF, investing for community development. There's one thing I know about Jamaicans, and it's that we are a very creative bunch. We make the best of every situation, and we always find a way to add a bit of flair to whatever life throws at us. Take a look at these creative youngsters providing hope.
I graduated from Hope and Fashion Design Level 2. I'm currently studying Fashion Design in Level 3 at the moment. The course was about to finish March 31st, and it was put off because of the coronavirus. So now I'm here making masks. I'm here day on almost every single day, trying to make a mask, at least 100 masks to supply. So each day I'm here working.
When COVID started and when the outbreak started in Jamaica, we realized that we had no choice but to shut down all training, especially by what we did at Hope. So we had community-based training, we had institutional-based training like you see here at this Heart Academy. When we realized what was happening with COVID and the need for wearing masks by the general public, we decided to recall some of these youngsters who had then been at home for a few weeks, not earning a stipend, not doing anything. So we recalled them and we put systems in place here, very, very strict controls to maintain this sterile environment, the sanitizing processes, and at the same time to have them making these masks.
Making these masks, these Hope program masks, these can basically benefit Jamaica by preventing the spreading of coronavirus. And I live by the philosophy where there is hope, there is life.
The Heart Trust Garmex Academy on Marcus Garvey Drive has become a tenacious player in the island's fight against COVID-19. What started as an initiative to engage numerous unattached young people enrolled in the Housing, Opportunity, Production and Employment Hope program has begun to bring hope to countless Jamaicans. The team of approximately 25 Hope trainees, 10 instructors, and numerous volunteers is tasked with the daily target of producing 1,000 reusable fabric masks that will be supplied to some of the less fortunate among us.
The masks are made and supplied. We try to get them to the most vulnerable groups. So we send them to infirmaries, to children's homes. We send them to other social workers groups that are out there working in the communities as we speak. We have provided these masks to the Ministry of Health social teams that are deployed. But there is also a number of corporate entities who have come to us because they're on the front line. Food service, for instance. As you may be aware, Island Grill was one of our biggest supporters and encouraging us to do more and get more of these masks out, and they were the first ones to come on board.
Colonel Rickman, through his ingenuity, started
the manufacture and design of the Hope Mask. And we naturally turned to him because of the ongoing partnership that we had. And this is our way of saying thank you. So we have brought our team down to, go ahead and feed the interns and anybody else who might have been participants in producing these things for us.
I hope it's an example for others to follow suit. I invite other entities to come on board with us, donate some masks. There are entities now who are buying masks and allowing us simply to give it away.
Each mask is sold at a cost of $350 and are done to exact specifications.
We reach out to the Bureau of Standards as well as the Ministry of Health to look at various materials, look at various makeup and the design of the mask. And I'm happy to say that these masks that are made by Hope, they're made with material that are already water repellent or moisture repellent, but it's made with a level of comfort. It's in 3 layers so that it significantly reduces the possibility. So it's not a guarantee, but it significantly reduces the possibility of moisture and vapor to enter into the system. Or for those who may have the virus, if everybody's wearing it, it will protect them from passing it on as well. All of these masks are made in the Jamaican colors, as you can see. And they're made because we wanted to inspire a sense of, that we as Jamaicans, we're all in this thing together. The masks are made by these young persons who would otherwise have been doing nothing at home. So they're earning a bit of a stipend whilst they're making these masks. They're doing something good for the country. They're in their own way, they're contributing, they're giving their own service back by contributing, making masks, albeit for a small stipend.
Starting a program changed me. Right now, I want to become the best fashion designer there is, if there's such thing. And I'm just here working to the best of my ability to gain more experience and strengthen my skills and just let it take place from there.
The stipend is the starter for me. So the stipend basically started me. So now I own my own business, and the business name is For Your Glory Design. And now I can fetch for my family and myself.
I'm more confident in sewing than before because I can do a lot more than I could do before, like pattern making, jacket suits. I'm actually making masks in my community also. I'm selling them in my own community. Yeah. So fashion is a good thing for me, and Hope did a lot. It's just me, did a lot for me.
The JIS Heritage Competition is celebrating 10 years of youth expression on Jamaican history, culture, and tradition.
Let me tell you about our Bashment heritage.
Jamaica still needs national heroes to preserve our cultural legacy.
Bogo got his men and led them down over the hills to Spanish Town.
Jamaican music to me represents our identity and culture as Jamaicans.
Add your voice and play your part in preserving our national heritage. The JIS Heritage Competition 2020, coming soon.
With the COVID-19 pandemic among us, there is unfortunately much uncertainty we must prepare for, such as the death of a family member or even a close friend. There may be no way to truly prepare for such a thing psychologically, but the Administrator General's Department is here to make one resulting process easier.
Yo, Kevin, what you going? You don't play ball with the man them?
Yo, you know, say, I think happened to me the other day, my youth. Have me away, I'm never gonna lie to you.
What?
You know, some of them are stressed out and I grieve. You know my brother John?
Yeah.
You know, so the man say him sick, and we carry him to the hospital. And the man just dead, so. Dead left him daughter, No will. Yeah, and him two daughters them called Ashley at 9 and Gabriella 13, so we really don't know what to do.
Boy, sorry for hear that, you know. You never have no will.
Yo, I just said that already, man. Yo, man no left no will. If him left a will, would I know what to do. I really don't know what to do.
So him never have house, car, bank account? Must at least NHT contribution.
Yo, if I tell you the truth, my brother very secretive. So I really don't know. I just know the facts. Say he's a teacher, and I know them pay him through the bank, so he would have a bank account. I know him to buy a house last year. The car where I have, I never know if I fee him. So I really don't know. That may I say if in the left a will, would I really know where I have or what to do. But we really don't know what to do.
No, I did hear upon the radio still, Administrator General's Department deal with them matter there, you know.
Administrator General's Department. What them do really? What them really do?
A government office, man. Them, whenever people dead without will and them have kids under 18, them deal with the assets.
So you say Administrator General's Department, them deal with them thing there? Push for the Administrator General's Department there.
12 Ocean Boulevard.
Yeah, but I really like to go down there still and find out from them what them can do, because I tell us so we really don't know what to do. I tell you the truth.
Follow them play some ball, man. Before they go down there tomorrow.
Respect.
That's right. If someone dies and did not leave a will, leaving children under the age of 18 years old and have assets such as property, bank accounts and motor vehicle, you must report the death of the person to the Administrator General's Department.
Good morning, gentlemen. How may I help you?
Hello, good morning. I have a situation, I hope you can help me. My brother died last week, and I don't know what to do.
Did he leave a will?
No, he didn't leave a will.
Okay, I'm going to ask that you complete this document for us.
To process the report of a death, you will need to complete a form of particulars witnessed by a justice of the peace or a notary public. You also have to submit an original death certificate, proof that you're related to the deceased, for example, birth certificate, marriage certificate, proof of assets such as bank passbook, land ownership documents, share certificates, motor vehicle documents, insurance policies, certificate of deposit. You will also need to provide a small sum towards administration expenses if no cash is left by the deceased. Before reporting a death, you can visit our offices for further information. In Kingston, 3rd floor at the Office Center Building, 12 Ocean Boulevard, or call us 922-183023. You can also visit our Western office at the 2nd floor of the National Housing Trust Building at 42B Union Street, Montego Bay, St. James. Telephone 630-4261. Our website is at www.agd.gov.jm. That's the Administrator General's Department, securing your legacy.
Thank you for making it this far, but we've come to the end of another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. Please remember to be creative in these uncertain times and to look out for individuals who may be exhibiting signs of human trafficking. Don't be silent. Report suspicious activity to the necessary authorities. Follow us on our social media handles and stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care and pleasant viewing.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.